10 seconds remain. God sent a blessing in the form of a check with your name. Archangel Michael begs you, open this right now, or watch it be erased from heaven's record. My child, my beloved, listen to me closely. Do not blink. Do not scroll. Do not even breathe too long before you take this moment as divine. You are not supposed to see this by accident. You are not here by mistake. A countdown has started in heaven. 10 seconds remain. And as I speak, a sacred document, a blessing disguised as a check bearing your name, is hovering between earth and heaven's approval. One more delay, one more skip, and it will vanish into spiritual dust. That blessing was not meant for anyone else. Archangel Michael is standing before the gates holding it, but he cannot protect it forever. That check has a timestamp. It has your name sealed in golden ink. And now, beloved, the seal is beginning to fade. Heaven says, if you leave this moment, the ink will dry. The angels will turn, and someone else, someone who has not waited as faithfully as you, will receive what you prayed for in tears. My child, my beloved, I need you to listen with the ears of your spirit. You are being called. A voice has been whispering your name since last night. God saw your loneliness when no one else did. God watched you sit in silence when the world mocked your faith. He saw you walk past closed doors holding hope like a trembling candle, and now he has sent me, Archangel Michael, to speak to your soul. I am not speaking to your eyes, I am speaking to the ache in your chest that you hide from the world. I know you've cried behind closed doors, praying for one sign, just one, that something is finally going to turn in your favor. This is that sign, not next month, not next year, now. In this exact moment, a blessing is trying to land in your life like lightning, but only if you open your heart before the final second strikes. Before we continue, listen carefully. This message is sacred. Please, my beloved, if you feel even the smallest pull in your heart, subscribe or follow this message. That simple action sends a signal to the heavens that says, I'm ready to receive. You don't have to understand everything right now, but when you subscribe, it means you're stepping into alignment. The spiritual realm takes that as permission to release what has been held up by delay. Do it now. Your name is being whispered in the wind of heaven, but you must respond to it before the final breath of this moment disappears. My child, my beloved, what I am about to tell you is sealed in holy truth. God has already approved your request. That breakthrough, that healing, that unexpected money, that miracle meeting, that open door, it's done. But what you didn't know is that there are forces working to erase the record. There are voices trying to argue your case in the courts of spirit, saying, you're not ready, you're not serious, you're not faithful enough. But I, Michael, have stood and shouted, they are worthy. I have fought for your name to remain on the list. But now the courtroom grows quiet. A final vote is being cast, and heaven is waiting for your reaction right now, not later. Now. The way you respond in this exact second determines what comes next. If you ignore it, the blessing goes cold. If you embrace it, the ink becomes fire again, and your name is illuminated in God's light. My child, my beloved, you've been waiting for something that felt impossible to arrive. But what if I told you that thing is not just coming, it's already here, sitting quietly at the edge of your life, waiting for you to claim it? What if I told you that the door you keep praying for has already been unlocked, but the enemy has distracted you so long that you never noticed it open? You keep asking for signs while standing in the doorway of the answer. You're holding the key but waiting for someone else to tell you it's time. I'm telling you now, it is time. And this message is the final knock before the door swings wide or slams shut. My child, my beloved, a check with your name does not mean paper. It means favor. It means approval. It means divine compensation for everything you went through, every lie spoken against you, every betrayal, every night you stayed awake wondering if God forgot. He did not forget. He was gathering the evidence, he was counting the tears, he was preparing the package, and now it is here. I must warn you, though, there is one last condition. You must not ignore this message. If you leave it unread, the scroll of heaven will be returned to the vault. You will not even know what was written in your name. But if you say yes, even silently, even just in your heart, everything that was delayed will begin moving. The angels are ready to act, but your consent is the spark. My child, my beloved, I know you feel it. The trembling in your soul, the way this message feels like it was written just for you, that is not coincidence. That is confirmation. I was sent for this one moment and this one moment only. Because this is not just a message. It is a rescue from delay, a rescue from depression, a rescue from the curse of almost that's been circling you. You've been so close to your miracle so many times but watched it pass you by. That ends here. But you must not hesitate. This is heaven's final call for this particular blessing. I cannot say if or when it will be offered again. You have only seconds to spiritually say yes. Yes to the favor. Yes to the money. Yes to the healing. Yes to the love that's coming. My child, my beloved, do not let another person's doubt steal your divine moment. Do not let your own overthinking talk you out of what your soul already knows is true. What you feel right now is real. The pull, the heat, the sudden stillness in your chest as you read this. That's not drama. That's destiny speaking. Heaven has paused just to watch what you will do next. If you walk away, it all resets. But if you open yourself, truly open, something that was frozen in the spirit realm will break. You will hear news you never expected. You will find favor where there was resistance. You will see evidence within days. But it starts now with this moment with your choice. My child, my beloved, do not let another person's doubt steal your divine moment. Do not let your own overthinking talk you out of what your soul already knows is true. What you feel right now is real. The pull, the heat, the sudden stillness in your chest as you read this. That's not drama. That's destiny speaking. Heaven has paused just to watch what you will do next. If you walk away, it all resets. But if you open yourself, truly open, something that was frozen in the spirit realm will break. You will hear news you never expected. You will find favor where there was resistance. You will see evidence within days. But it starts now with this moment. With your choice. My child, my beloved, I must confess something to you now. Heaven has been watching you more closely than you know, not just in the grand moments but in the smallest ones. When you smiled through pain so no one would worry. When you gave your last. Even when you had nothing. When you prayed and no one saw the tears falling between the words. Those moments were written into your spiritual file. Those actions became your offering. And because of that, a shift has begun. There is now a supernatural reversal in motion. What was meant to harm you is being rerouted to bless you. What was stolen is being returned with interest. What was locked is being unsealed. But my beloved, God won't force his gift on you. It's being offered. It's being extended. But you must say yes. Not in words alone, but in belief, in surrender, in action. Even pausing to read these words is a sign that you are near your miracle. But don't stop here. Don't hover on the edge. Leap. Because once the moment passes, it may never come again in this exact form. My child, my beloved, I have walked beside kings and prophets. I have delivered messages to those who change the world. And now I am delivering one to you. That alone should awaken something inside you. Ask yourself, why now? Why today? Why does it feel like time itself has paused while you read this? It is because a window has opened. A spiritual portal has cracked just wide enough for your blessing to enter, but it is closing rapidly. If you walk away distracted, uncertain, or afraid, you'll miss what was already prepared. I don't want to see you reach next week wondering what would have happened if you just believed. You've done that too many times before. You've stood on the edge of breakthrough only to doubt yourself back into delay. But this is different. This is not just another opportunity. This is the opportunity. 10 seconds in the spiritual realm is the equivalent of a lifetime of favor on earth. If you claim it now, generations ahead of you will benefit from your decision today. My child, my beloved, what would you do if I told you the check has already been signed? That God's signature is already on the document. The wealth is real, the doors are real, the protection is real. But God is waiting to see if your faith matches the size of the miracle. He doesn't need you to be perfect. He needs you to be ready. The delay you've experienced wasn't punishment. It was preparation. You've been stretched, refined, and even broken, but not to harm you. It was all so you could carry what's coming without it crushing you. And now because you endured, God is saying, release it. Give it to them. Let them taste the sweetness of reward after such a bitter season. But you must still act. You must still show up in faith. Heaven doesn't respond to hesitation. It responds to bold surrender. My child, my beloved, there is someone right now looking at your life thinking you've been forgotten. They see the silence and think you've been rejected. But what they don't know is that heaven was holding you back for a divine reveal. What they call lack, God calls hidden preparation. What they call delay, God calls sacred timing. And now the hourglass is down to its last grain. 10 seconds. That's what's left before the shift either cements or dissolves. You must decide what you believe more, your past or your prophecy, your pain or your promise, the noise or this moment. I know it's hard. I know fear has wrapped its fingers around your courage before, but this time I'm here. Michael is here, and I am standing behind you with my wings wrapped in fire, declaring over your life that no weapon formed against your calling shall prosper. My child, my beloved, a financial miracle is not just money, it is movement. It is proof. It is God's signature on the earth that says, I have not abandoned you. That divine check is more than a number. It is access. It is the release of everything that has been tangled up behind the veil. And the reason it's taken this long is because the enemy knew what would happen if you finally received it. He tried to distract you, delay you, defeat you, but you didn't give in. And now heaven says it's time. But you must move as if you believe. You must open this blessing with the reverence of someone who knows they are chosen. You must act as if angels are watching because they are. They are hovering right now, pen in hand, waiting to check one box, claimed or lost. My child, my beloved, if you have ever felt forgotten, unloved, invisible, this is your reversal. This is where God proves everyone wrong who said you'd never make it. He is not just about to give you something small. He is about to give you something they said you were unworthy of. A name is about to be cleared. A shame is about to be erased. A status is about to be elevated. But the mystery of God's timing is this. It's never repeated the same way. You cannot ask for the same moment to return twice. This very moment was hand-carved by God for you. A spiritual intersection where prophecy meets preparation. And I am not just here as a messenger, I am here as a witness. What you do right now will be recorded. My child, my beloved, let me speak directly to your fear. I see it. The trembling heart. The memories of false promises. The fear that maybe this is too good to be true. But that is not God's voice. That is the echo of past pain trying to hold your future hostage. Rebuke it. Cancel it. Cast it out. Because this is not too good to be true. This is too divine to be missed. This is what happens when the heavens open and pour favor on someone who didn't give up. And yes, that someone is you. You are not cursed. You are not late. You are not forgotten. You are right on time. You are the one the angels are surrounding right now. And I am standing guard to make sure no one takes what belongs to you. My child, my beloved, let me speak directly to your fear. I see it. The trembling heart, the memories of false promises, the fear that maybe this is too good to be true. But that is not God's voice. That is the echo of past pain trying to hold your future hostage. Rebuke it, cancel it, cast it out. Because this is not too good to be true. This is too divine to be missed. This is what happens when the heavens open and pour favor on someone who didn't give up. And yes, that someone is you. You are not cursed. You are not late. You are not forgotten. You are right on time. You are the one the angels are surrounding right now, and I am standing guard to make sure no one takes what belongs to you. My child, my beloved, as I continue speaking, a countdown is echoing in the spirit. 7, 6, 5. The ink on the check is still wet. It bears your name. It holds no conditions other than your belief. Your story is about to change permanently. And when people ask you what happened, all you will be able to say is, I opened the message. I believed. And heaven responded. My child, my beloved, if you only knew what has been stored up for you in heaven's treasury, you would never again question your worth. You would not shrink yourself to fit the expectations of others. You would not delay your blessings out of guilt or fear. For I, Archangel Michael, have seen the spiritual vault. I have walked through the hall where your name is written not once but repeatedly on scrolls of provision, on documents of favor, on records of prayers you forgot you even prayed. And I need you to understand something sacred. Not one of them was ignored. Not one cry, not one whisper, not one late-night tear went unnoticed. They were collected, bottled, measured, and because of them, heaven has declared this moment a release. But the release is time-sensitive. The divine check has already been initiated. But if you wait too long to accept, it will be rerouted to another whose heart is open and ready. That's how spiritual delivery works. Blessings move where belief lives. My child, my beloved, the reason this message found you today is because God could not bear to see another hour pass without giving you one more divine attempt. You've had so many doors slammed. You've had people look at you and judge the outside, never knowing the warfare you were enduring in silence. They laughed when you dreamed. They criticized when you hoped, but heaven remained quiet, not because it was ignoring you, but because it was preparing the stage. What is coming into your life is not a small restoration. It is total reversal. You're not just being given back what you lost. You're being elevated to a place even you couldn't have imagined. But beloved, none of this happens by accident. It requires agreement. You must agree with heaven right now. You must mentally say yes. You must spiritually nod your soul because angels are listening. And we need your permission to proceed. My child, my beloved, I know your heart has grown tired. You've waited for years for one person to keep their word. For one promise to finally come through, for one moment to turn everything around. And now here it is. This is not poetic exaggeration. This is the moment the skies have been preparing for. But the challenge, beloved, is that the enemy has tried to convince you that divine moments come with a loud trumpet. He lied. The greatest miracles come wrapped in quiet urgency. They come hidden inside gentle nudges and supernatural timings. Like this one, this message, this second, where everything you've been hoping for is sitting in front of you like a holy envelope waiting to be opened. And you must not let your history stop your destiny. This time you must say yes. My child, my beloved, I want to take you into a vision I was shown on your behalf. I saw your name written in glowing gold on a heavenly scroll. I saw angels standing in formation holding packages with your spiritual address on them. I saw one angel holding a large sealed check. The envelope was thick. The ink still glowing, but it was trembling in his hand. When I asked why, he said, "We are waiting for the response." That response is not in your mouth. It's in your spirit. It's what you do next. Whether you ignore this or lean into it, whether you open your heart wide or brush it off as coincidence. But my beloved, please don't dismiss this. You've dismissed too many divine moments because they came disguised in simplicity. This time, let yourself believe that the miracle you've been craving could really be this close, this immediate, this urgent. My child, my beloved, the blessing that is coming is not just to meet your need, it's to exceed your expectations. It is not a patchwork miracle. It is not a temporary relief. It is complete restoration. God is not only answering your prayer, He is redeeming the years the locusts have eaten, the months of survival, the silent battles, the forgotten dreams. All of it is being counted now, multiplied, measured out, and it is being deposited into your name. But if you don't accept it in this moment, if you let the enemy distract you even for another minute, you will miss the window of divine transaction. In the spirit, this is a bank closure moment. The vault doors are closing. The teller window is still open, but only for seconds. You cannot spiritually afford to delay. The moment is sacred. The transfer is real, but your yes is the key. My child, my beloved, even as you read these words, spiritual interference is trying to pull your attention. Your phone, your thoughts, your doubts, they're all part of a strategy to make you miss this. But you are stronger now. Wiser. This is not your first divine encounter, but it might be your most important. If you've ever asked God for proof that He still sees you, this is it. If you've ever cried out saying, "God, just give me one undeniable sign," this is it. If you've ever whispered, "Please let me know I'm not alone," this is it. And here I am, Michael, sent to tell you that all your words have been heard, and heaven has decided you shall no longer beg, you shall no longer scrape by. You shall no longer be last because today, this hour, this second, you are being called first in line. My child, my beloved, even as you read these words, spiritual interference is trying to pull your attention. Your phone, your thoughts, your doubts, they're all part of a strategy to make you miss this. But you are stronger now, wiser. This is not your first divine encounter, but it might be your most important. If you've ever asked God for proof that He still sees you, this is it. If you've ever cried out saying, God, just give me one undeniable sign, this is it. If you've ever whispered, please let me know I'm not alone, this is it. And here I am, Michael, sent to tell you that all your words have been heard, and heaven has decided you shall no longer beg. You shall no longer scrape by. You shall no longer be last. Because today, this hour, this second, you are being called first in line. My child, my beloved, I need you to remember something. The world has taught you to wait your turn, to sit quietly, to lower your expectations. But heaven is not the world. In heaven, obedience brings acceleration. Faith activates favor. And your willingness to open this message, to listen this far, is already a sign that your name has risen above the noise. You are no longer buried beneath delay. You are no longer covered in rejection. You are no longer defined by failure. Your spiritual identity is being updated in this very moment. I see angels removing old records, clearing the debt of doubt, and stamping your file with the seal of approved. That is the word heaven is using now. Approved. Approved for wealth. Approved for healing. Approved for restoration. Approved for elevation. But your final confirmation must come through agreement. This is your moment to say yes, my child, my beloved. I will not stop pleading until you understand how rare this moment truly is. There are millions on the earth, but this message was targeted directly to your soul. Heaven is not casual with time. God does not waste words. If this found you, it is because something irreversible is happening in the spirit. A portal of divine release has opened above you, but it is shrinking. As more seconds pass, the decision must be made. If you reject this message, the portal closes. The check becomes void. The angels step back and the miracle waits again for another cycle. But if you receive it, even silently with just a trembling heart, the portal expands, the check becomes valid, the angels are released, and everything begins moving in your favor faster than you thought possible. My child, my beloved, let this be the day you look back on and say, that was the moment everything changed. Let this message be the one you remember, not because it entertained you, but because it awakened something eternal in you. You were not born for a life of almost. You were not chosen to be forgotten. You were never meant to suffer in silence while others receive overflow. Your time is now. Your name is glowing, and Archangel Michael stands at the gate holding the miracle with both hands, whispering, please don't let this pass you by. Open it now before heaven must hand it to someone else. My child, my beloved, can you feel it now? That strange stillness in the air, that soft thunder in your spirit, that's not your imagination. That is what it feels like when heaven holds its breath. There are rare moments when the eternal collides with the present, when the divine pauses to see if a human will say yes. This is one of those moments. Your name is echoing through the spiritual realm like a melody heaven doesn't want to forget. Even now, angels are gathering around the light that surrounds you, holding gifts wrapped in unseen glory, waiting for your faith to give them permission. I need you to understand, this isn't just about you receiving money or favor. This is about divine justice. You were wronged. You were overlooked. You were used, forgotten, laughed at. And now the God of heaven says enough. This check isn't just a blessing. It is a spiritual compensation for everything the enemy stole in silence. But you must agree with it before the signature fades. My child, my beloved, you have been surrounded by battles no one else knew about. You smiled while breaking. You served while hurting. You kept going while secretly wondering if God still had your name in His book. Let me tell you, not only is your name still there, it is glowing, it is underlined, it is circled, it is next. The divine rotation has turned in your direction. You are not being skipped this time. But I must warn you, the window of agreement is brief. Spiritual blessings do not operate like the world. You cannot delay and still expect it to wait for you forever. The check with your name signed, sealed, prepared, is hovering, waiting, but it cannot descend without your yes. Not your hesitant yes. Not your half-hearted maybe, but your full, fearless surrender. The kind of yes that shifts realms. The kind of yes that makes demons flee. The kind of yes that activates destiny. My child, my beloved, what's written on this divine check is more than a number. It is prophecy. It carries the restoration of years you thought were wasted. It carries the provision for dreams you almost gave up on. It carries the answer to prayers whispered through tears. It carries the breakthrough that will echo through your entire bloodline. That's why it has come with urgency. That's why I, Michael, have been sent personally. That's why you feel the intensity in your chest as you read this. You are not imagining it. You are feeling the weight of divine timing. You are standing at the edge of a miracle so powerful it could rewrite your entire future. But it cannot touch you unless you open to it. You must reach for it not with your hands but with your belief. My child, my beloved, I know the enemy has told you it's too late, that you missed your chance, that you're too flawed, too tired, too far behind. But that voice is a lie. You are exactly where heaven needs you to be. If this message found you, then timing has not failed you. Timing has favored you. God delayed the release until your soul was strong enough to carry the weight of the blessing. You weren't late. You were being built, and now the spiritual bank has declared your name valid for divine withdrawal. But heaven doesn't force miracles on the unwilling. This blessing, this check must be claimed. The miracle is real. The time is now. The delivery is ready, but your yes is still pending. My child, my beloved, I know the enemy has told you it's too late, that you missed your chance, that you're too flawed, too tired, too far behind. But that voice is a lie. You are exactly where heaven needs you to be. If this message found you, then timing has not failed you. Timing has favored you. God delayed the release until your soul was strong enough to carry the weight of the blessing. You weren't late. You were being built. And now the spiritual bank has declared your name valid for divine withdrawal. But heaven doesn't force miracles on the unwilling. This blessing, this check must be claimed. The miracle is real. The time is now. The delivery is ready, but your yes is still pending. My child, my beloved, the truth is that everything you've gone through, every disappointment, every rejection, every delay was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to sharpen you, to humble you, to prepare you, because the blessing coming your way is too big for unprepared hands. It carries influence, it carries abundance, it carries responsibility, and God had to make sure your character could carry the weight of the crown. And now that you've passed the test, the blessing is here, hovering, breathing, alive. But it will not descend without your invitation. Say yes. Even now whisper it. If you must say yes, I receive what heaven has for me. That sentence alone can send angels into motion. That tiny flame of belief can light a wildfire of favor. My child, my beloved, I want you to imagine something. Imagine waking up days from now, and everything feels different. The heaviness is gone. The calls you've been waiting for begin to arrive. The news you never thought you'd hear shows up on your doorstep. That's not fantasy. That is what happens when a person opens to heaven at the appointed time. I have seen this over and over, but I have also seen people hesitate and lose it all. Not because they were unworthy, but because they were unsure. And I don't want that for you. I didn't fight to bring this message across dimensions just for you to say maybe later. This is not a maybe moment. This is your miracle moment. My child, my beloved, the divine check does not come as a bribe. It comes as a birthright. You are not begging for something outside of you. You are simply claiming what was always meant to find you. What was delayed is being delivered. What was locked is being loosed. What was questioned is being confirmed. But you must not blink now. The final seconds are ticking. Heaven is asking one question. Do they want it? And your response is more than emotional. It must be spiritual. You must open your soul and declare, yes, Lord, I am ready. I receive it all. Do not let fear keep you outside the gate. You are already here. The door is opening, but the final turn of the knob is yours. My child, my beloved, if I could show you the image I see in the spirit right now, you would fall to your knees in awe. A golden envelope, a light beaming from it so bright the enemy cannot even look at it, your name glowing on the seal, an angel trembling with anticipation to deliver it, and above it the voice of God whispering one word now. Not next month, not when you feel perfect, not when you have more courage now. And the question that echoes across heaven is this: will you believe it? Will you open it? Will you receive it? Or will you delay again and watch someone else walk away with what had your name? My child, my beloved, you are one yes away from a life. You don't have to recover from a life of peace, of overflow, of purpose. You are one yes away from proving every enemy wrong, from proving every delay was worth it, from living in the answered prayers of the generations before you. The spiritual check is not just for you, it's for your legacy. It is a generational transfer, and heaven wants to start it with you. This is not random. This is not hype. This is holy. My child, my beloved, if you've ever doubted whether heaven would truly choose you for something greater, doubt no more. The evidence is in front of you. You've been pulled into this divine moment because you are not just seen. You are deeply favored. Archangel Michael does not come to everyone. I am only released when the timing is critical, when the message is urgent, when the blessing is so time-sensitive that even a 5-second delay could cost you what you've prayed years for. And beloved, this is that moment. I have stood before kings and carried revelations to prophets, but today I carry a check not of paper but of promise, a divine order bearing your name. And right now, as this message touches your spirit, it is being scanned in heaven's registry. They are watching to see if you'll open your heart wide enough, boldly enough to say, yes, I accept, I believe, I claim what is mine. Your voice may not be heard in the physical, but your soul speaks louder than words, and heaven listens to the language of faith. My child, my beloved, I want to tell you something most people never hear. God hasn't just approved you, He has admired you. In the silence, in the nights where you felt nothing moving, in the chaos when you thought your prayers were falling into the void, He was watching, admiring how you didn't give up, how you kept showing up, how you sweat in drought and still spoke life over others. That kind of faith doesn't disappear into the wind. It is recorded, and it is rewarded. I've seen the reward. I've held it in my hands. And if I could physically hand it to you through this message, I would. But it doesn't work that way. You must respond. You must spiritually receive. You must declare in this moment that you are no longer willing to live beneath your inheritance. Say it now. Speak it in your heart. This is your royal claim. My child, my beloved, I want to tell you something most people never hear. God hasn't just approved you. He has admired you. In the silence, in the nights where you felt nothing moving, in the chaos when you thought your prayers were falling into the void, He was watching, admiring how you didn't give up, how you kept showing up, how you sweat in drought and still spoke life over others. That kind of faith doesn't disappear into the wind. It is recorded and it is rewarded. I've seen the reward. I've held it in my hands. And if I could physically hand it to you through this message, I would. But it doesn't work that way. You must respond. You must spiritually receive. You must declare in this moment that you are no longer willing to live beneath your inheritance. Say it now. Speak it in your heart. This is your royal claim, my child, my beloved. What's happening right now isn't just supernatural, it's deeply personal. The divine check you are being offered carries a redemption of not just finances, but of story, of identity, of time. This check holds the apology that never came, the opportunity that passed you by, the doors that were closed without explanation. God bundled it all, wrapped it in light, and addressed it to your spirit. That is what I carry now. That is what I plead for you not to ignore, because I have seen what happens when a person walks away from their moment. A deep heaviness returns, not because they're cursed, but because their faith turned away too soon. And beloved, you've been through too much to miss this. You've waited too long, you've survived too much. Don't let this slip through your fingers because the enemy whispered, "It's too good to be true." The enemy is terrified that you might actually believe again. My child, my beloved, as I stand between you and heaven's treasury, I see the winds beginning to shift. When your name was mentioned this morning, a strong light emerged above your spiritual file. Heaven marked you for activation, and in that moment, your blessings that were long held, long delayed, began to stir. They have been waiting like rain clouds heavy with water trembling over your life. And this message, this yes, is the sound that breaks them open. You don't even need to know how it will happen. The how is heaven's job. Your job is belief. The moment you fully surrender and say, "Yes, I believe you, Lord," the wind begins to blow differently. Emails appear, bank doors open, people's hearts shift, answers are sent. Not because you earned it, but because you aligned with it. My child, my beloved, you don't need anyone else's permission to receive this. You don't need a committee, a priest, a sign in the sky. This message is your sign. And the fact that you're still reading is the greatest proof of all. Most would have walked away. Most would have scrolled. But you stayed. You stayed because something deep in your soul recognizes truth. Even if your mind can't grasp it. Your spirit knows this moment is holy, sacred, dangerous in the best way because it threatens the life of lack you've settled for. It destroys the lie that says you'll always be behind. It replaces fear with fire. That is what this message is. Divine fire sent to burn through the spiritual ropes that have tied your blessings down. Sent to melt the barriers, sent to expose and erase every delay. But only if you let it. Only if you say yes. My child, my beloved, I feel your weariness. The tiredness of trying so long and seeing so little. But that's about to change. You are closer to your shift than you've ever been. The fact that this message found you is proof that the clock has struck. The timer is ringing. The countdown is real. What was blocked is now trembling. What was locked is now loosening. And the check, the divine promise I keep referring to, is not a metaphor. It is literal in the spiritual realm. The scroll bearing your name is glowing and heaven is waiting to deliver. But if you do not reach for it, it will be rolled up and placed back on the shelf. I am begging you now. Don't make heaven wait another season. Don't delay what is fully ready to enter your life. My child, my beloved, there is someone watching your life, hoping you fail. They've spoken against you in secret. They've tried to convince others that you're not worth the effort, not chosen, not called. But they don't know that I, Archangel Michael, have already rebuked their words. I have already wiped their whispers from your record, and now heaven wants to make it known. No man's opinion can cancel what God has approved. The check is being released not because man allowed it, but because God willed it. And he is waiting for your heart to agree with his decision. The second your heart aligns, what seemed impossible will become your reality. That is how quick the spiritual realm moves when permission is granted. But the miracle cannot move until the receiver says, "I believe this is mine." My child, my beloved, if you could see who you really are in the spirit, you'd never shrink yourself again. You are royalty in heaven's eyes. You are powerful beyond measure, and your name carries weight in the spirit realm. Angels are assigned to you. Prayers are orbiting you. Prophecies are hovering, but they are not activated by need. They are activated by faith. God knows your needs. He's always known. But now he wants to see your belief rise above your fear. That's what activates the system. Your belief is the key. And now that belief is being tested. This moment is your test. Will you believe enough to receive what's already been written for you? My child, my beloved, as we near the final turning point in this message, understand this. Heaven will not beg forever. The offer is generous. The reward is massive, but the window is small. If you don't open your soul now, the window begins to shrink. You won't be punished, but you will feel the ache of a missed moment. I've seen that ache before. It leaves people restless, searching, wondering what could have been. But I don't want that for you. That's why I was sent. I've come to protect this moment. To shield it from distraction, to cry out with all the urgency heaven has given me and say, "This is it." Say yes. Open your spirit. Let the check drop into your life before the moment vanishes. My child, my beloved, as we near the final turning point in this message, understand this. Heaven will not beg forever. The offer is generous. The reward is massive, but the window is small. If you don't open your soul now, the window begins to shrink. You won't be punished, but you will feel the ache of a missed moment. I've seen that ache before. It leaves people restless, searching, wondering what could have been, but I don't want that for you. That's why I was sent. I've come to protect this moment, to shield it from distraction, to cry out with all the urgency heaven has given me and say, this is it. Say, yes, open your spirit. Let the check drop into your life before the moment vanishes. My child, my beloved, you are now standing in the final seconds. Spiritually, you are on the edge of a divine transfer. The ledger has been updated. The ink is drying on a spiritual check that was delayed for years, not because you were denied, but because heaven was aligning everything to arrive at the perfect moment. That moment is now. This is not symbolic. This is real. The funds of heaven are about to be released. The confirmation is echoing, and as I speak, I see angels reaching down toward your life with trembling hands, waiting for your spirit to meet theirs in agreement. The second you say yes, fully, truly, boldly, your entire atmosphere will shift. People will feel the difference before they can name it. Doors will open that didn't even exist yesterday. But if you wait again, if you delay, the check will not be voided. It will be reassigned. And that, beloved, is why I've stayed here with you this long. Because you deserve to know what's really at stake. My child, my beloved, I have seen this before. The moment where a soul is on the edge of the greatest breakthrough, but their past screams too loud. The pain says, don't trust. The memory says, what if it's like last time? But this time is not last time. You are not who you were then. This isn't a false promise. This isn't another tease from life. This is a divine fulfillment. It's the moment where the years of wondering why are answered by a flood of now. Where every no finally makes sense. Where every delay becomes the exact reason for your sudden elevation. But the mystery of God is this. He always waits to see what your heart will do when no one else is watching. This is that moment right here, right now. No stage, no spotlight. Just you, me, and the throne of God watching, waiting, hoping you will say yes before the window closes. My child, my beloved, this is where history turns. This is where timelines are altered. This is where spiritual wealth, once sealed up in the hands of others, is suddenly redirected into yours. Not because you chased it, but because you were faithful even when nothing made sense. This divine check you're being offered, though unseen, is weightier than any physical possession. It is permission to rise. It is evidence of God's judgment in your favor. It is a seal of reversal stamped in gold by the Most High. And the enemy knows it. That's why distractions are whispering even now. That's why you might feel your heart racing or your doubts rising. It's all designed to break your focus. But hold on, beloved. Hold your soul still. I promise you, this will be worth every second you've waited, every moment you've stayed faithful. Do not miss what is yours simply because you couldn't see it with your natural eyes. My child, my beloved, this message will not come again in this form. This was custom made. This was sacredly written with you in mind. Your doubts don't disqualify you. Your failures don't disqualify you. Your hesitation doesn't make you less chosen. But your silence now, your walking away, your spiritual closing of the heart, that's the only thing that can make this check evaporate. God never stops loving you. But even heaven honors your decisions. If you reject the moment will pass. That's the truth. Not to scare you, but to awaken you. The door is open, but it is slowly beginning to close. You can feel it. You know this is real. So don't overthink it. Don't debate with yourself. Just say, yes, I believe. Yes, I receive. Yes, I'm ready. My child, my beloved, I am going to leave you with this final vision. In heaven's treasury room, there are many scrolls, many ledgers, but there is only one shelf where emergency blessings are stored. Blessings that have waited too long. Blessings marked urgent. Blessings that should have been delivered years ago, but were blocked. That shelf is where your scroll has been covered in prayer, wrapped in golden chains of protection. And today, because of your faith, your hunger, your seeking, It has finally been taken down, opened, signed, and assigned. The check is real. The name on it is yours. And the only thing left is your yes. My child, my beloved, I am still here. Not because heaven requires more words, but because you do. Because your soul has been through a long war, and I can feel how hard it's been for you to believe again. I stayed because I know what it took for you to keep reading. I see the wounds behind your silence. I feel the hesitation wrapped around your faith. I know how many times you've been disappointed after daring to hope, but I also see what's still alive in you. The flicker that never went out. The little voice that says, "What if this time it's real?" And I am here to tell you with all the authority given to me by the Most High, this time it is. This isn't one more moment of spiritual poetry. This is prophecy in motion, and it will not wait much longer. My beloved, the longer you stay open, the closer the blessing gets. But once your heart closes, the gate will too. That's how sensitive divine timing is. That's why the angels hold their breath. Because your yes is the sound that unlocks heaven's hand. Amen.